going to talk about that. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about my news that I popped up on Monday, I think it was. Everybody see the news? No? On our course? You didn't see the news? Okay. So I posted news saying if you submitted your project to me via email, I will not accept it. Okay. Cool. Okay. You have to post in the minus 30% Dropbox. Okay. Everybody see that? Now? Is that a good reminder or no? Okay. And the reason why is because I shouldn't have 25 students emailing me last minute going, I forgot this, I forgot that, I forgot this, I forgot that. Here. I don't accept projects through email. Okay? They'll get lost. I have 100 students. You know how many people email me in a day? Okay? We have Dropboxes for a reason, so that you can get your marks, essentially, right? There's a process that we have to go through. Now, I talked to the other group. I said to them, I do understand. Some students uploaded their video, like I asked, to the on-time Dropbox, but forgot to give me their Premiere files and their assets. So they sent it through email. I told them, put it into the minus 30% Dropbox. I won't take 30% off of you because you put the video in on time. I get that. You had to use Premiere. The video's in on time. You just forgot. Totally cool. Okay? So if that's you, that's okay. Okay? I'm fair. If you gave me the Premiere file on time and forgot to give me the video, and you sent it through email, and then I told you to put it in the minus 30 Dropbox, you don't lose 30%. You obviously created it in Premiere, you just forgot to give me the video. That's fair, right? But if you didn't submit on time for anything, you gotta put it in the minus 30% Dropbox and you lose 30%. Okay, fair? Okay. So I'm going to show you something that I show my graduating guys. You get to see this early. My graduating guys, 4th semester. This is one of the first slides I show them. Okay. Moving forward, it's not getting any easier. Okay. This is a hard semester. Yes. Next semester's harder. 4th semester's harder. Okay? It's not going to get any easier. So if you're having issues with time management, you got to really work on your time management skills. You got summer coming up, yes? Okay? Work on your time management skills, because soon it is no extensions, no late Dropbox, and it's 0. Okay? Next semester, when you start, the very first day, I guarantee you will probably get a project that is a group project, and you'll get 48 hours to complete it, and there's 4 of you. Okay? You don't hit your deadline, all 4 of you get 0. Okay? So, me, I generally don't sugarcoat anything. I will tell you exactly the way it is, because I do it every day. Okay? I will not give you any extensions. You have to get your work in on time. Period. I do understand death, hospitalization, illness, those kind of things, right? That's life stuff. I get that. Absolutely. But just forgetting to submit something is not an excuse. Okay? Take some ownership in what you're going to do in this industry. Okay? And crying and complaining will not improve your mark. Period. Right? Sorry. As much as you're learning stuff, we're training you to be successful at this when you leave. Okay? Part of your jobs, whatever you become, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is dependent on getting stuff in on time. Okay? You can be the most talented artist, front-end developer, but if you can't get stuff in on time, you're useless and you're fired. So let's not be that person, right? Let's work on that skill now so that you are successful leaving. Okay? I've had to do hiring and I've had to do firing. I don't really like doing firing. It's not a fun thing. But if you don't pull your weight, you're gone. Okay? That's the truth. So take it serious. When I ask for stuff on time and in the Dropbox, put it there. Unless you talk to me. Okay? Talk to me, something happens. I can be an understanding guy. Yes? Right? If you have accommodations, that's a different story as well. I'm very accepting of accommodations. Do I have to accept accommodations here at the college? No, I don't. I don't have to. But I'm a pretty easygoing guy now. If you don't know what accommodations are, don't worry about it. Okay? Gotta get stuff in on time, every time. It's your reputation. Yes? Makes sense? I know you're learning, and I get that. And I'm flexible as flexible I can be. But I do it every day. Okay? I do it every day outside of teaching. Do I have deadlines today? Maybe. I don't actually. But some days I come to school and teach and I have deadlines. I have projects that have to be due. Okay? I gotta hit them or I don't have a job. Okay? It's important. Project management is so important. So important. Okay? To deliver on time at the end. Right? Moving forward, it's just going to get tougher. More work. If you think you got a lot of work now, talk to the second years. Okay? I was just talking with one of them. He, in the last week, he's got 3 hours of sleep every night. Because he's trying to produce a winning project for Industry Night. Have you ever heard of Industry Night? Anybody talk to you about Industry Night? It's for the graduating students. You get a final project, integrated project. You work in a team of 5. It's a competition. I'm not sure how many groups are gonna, go through to Industry Night. So say we got 10 groups, maybe 5 or 4 go. You get to come to the college. You get to display your final integrated project, your portfolio, all those nice things. And we bring in industry people to come look at everything. Okay? Come look at your stuff. Bring them in, and hopefully from there, they take your business card and you make a connection and possibly an interview from it. It's that important. That's why he's only sleeping 3 hours a night, because he wants his group to go. Okay? It could be the start of his career, quite frankly. I've seen many students from Industry Night, from professionals, come up to students or come up to me and say, who's that person? Who's that student? I'll say such and such, and they'll be like, I want to talk to them. I want to get their stuff. I want to set up an interview with them on that night. It's a pretty important night. So that's why he's getting 3 hours of sleep. The final presentation is Friday. Okay. He's delivering on time, every time. Okay? And when industry people come talk to me at industry night, I can recommend him because he delivers and he does good work and so forth, right? He's built a good reputation within our little small community of education. Okay? But I'll sing his praises. Certainly I will. If somebody asks me. Because he delivers on time and he does good work. Okay? See how important it is to make sure you bring stuff and get it in on time. On time, on time, on time. I cannot stress it enough. Because I don't like taking 30% from your mark. It's not like a joy of mine, believe me. Okay? I want to give you all kinds of marks because you guys are awesome at what you do. But if you don't give it to me on time, there has to be a penalty. Okay? When you graduate and you start working and you don't deliver, it's not marks you're losing, it's money. Okay? So understand, it is an absolute important thing to deliver on time. Okay? Again, death, hospitalization, illness, those kind of things. Those are life things, and I get it. Your computer didn't work? I don't get it. Okay? I don't care. My clients don't care that my computer doesn't work. They care that I delivered the project. If my computer don't work, I go to the office and use that computer. Okay? Yeah, it's great that we can work from home with our laptops and so forth, but if you can't export a video from it, does the client care? No, they don't care. They just care that it was delivered on time and it's right. So use these systems, okay? If you're having an issue like that, troubleshoot a bit. If your laptop is not handling Premiere, that's a technical thing, and I can't help you with that. Okay? If it's this computer, maybe I can get a technician in here to help. Right? Okay? That's not an excuse. Unfortunately, it's not. All right? Are we clear with deadlines? I know it's the end. We're near the end. It's summer's here, almost here. We got one more assignment. Well, two. You got your final integrated project, right, for me. And you got one more assignment. And you're gonna get that next week. And then you're gonna get a week to do it. Okay? There's gonna be no late Dropbox. Just deliver on time. Yes? Cool? Speech over with? Yes? All right. Cool. All right. I'll tuck away the mean professor. It is just really important, and being in second semester, you may not understand the full impact. All right. IDP, where do I go from here? Have you thought about it? No. I was just in school. I get it. I totally understand. When I went to school, I had no idea what I really wanted to do when I left. I really didn't. I just knew I wanted to make cool stuff. Truthfully. Nobody really talked to me about a path that we can take. Okay, so we're coming up to, summer. Maybe you can do some reflecting after you hear me out on what you want to do. Okay? If this is you, you're probably not the only one. You just don't know yet, right? You just don't know. And that's okay. I have some graduating students that are still trying to figure it out. Truthfully, still trying to figure it out. Okay. So thus far, though, in our course in IDP, you've learned web design and coding, correct? Okay. Graphic design principles. So that's your what is that? It's the two that Jared teaches. Design and image 1 and 2, right? Graphic design principles, for sure. Okay. You've dived into 3D now with John. What's that?
Cinema 4D.
Yeah, Cinema 4D. Okay. You've added that kind of area to your arsenal of education. Motion graphics. You're diving into that. Motion graphics is After Effects, but it's Cinema 4D too. We'll talk about what those are, why they're separated or different. Okay. So motion graphics, and then video editing. Right? You learn a little bit of Premiere editing here, telling stories and so forth. Right? That's a pretty big range. Yeah. Okay. That, in my opinion, that gives you a lot of options. Okay? But it's you that has to decide what those essential options are going to be for you when you leave. Okay? So let's talk about these options. And kind of, let's call them, say, silos. Okay, there's kind of four silos. Possibly, if it shows up. There we go. So 3 distinct silos or pathways, let's say, from IDP. We can look at coding, right? Because you're doing, responsive coding now, right? There's design. That's kind of a pathway. Maybe you don't like coding. Maybe you like design. Okay. There's video now with 3D, motion graphics, and now video editing, like Premiere under your arsenal. And then there's this idea that you like all 3 of these. Is that feasible to like all 3? Sure it is. Sure it is. Ideally, I would love for you to love all 3. Okay? Your employment possibilities are endless. Okay? If you do know all 3 and you enjoy all 3. Okay? So let's talk about the 4, the 4 kind of different pathways. Okay? That you can think about. So code, looking at the code pathway. We've talked, well, I think Rob talked to you guys about this last semester, front-end development, like what a front-end developer is in code, right? So you would be a person that loves HTML, loves CSS, loves JavaScript. It's 3 pieces of code to be a front-end developer. Those 3. Okay? Trevor's teaching you JavaScript, correct? Right now? Yes. How do you guys like JavaScript? You find it confusing?
Yeah,
Crazy? Maybe. I know, I don't know JavaScript. Okay? I really don't. I can dabble in it. You can give me some JavaScript and I can break it and then fix it. Okay? But I can't, I'm not like Trevor who writes it from scratch. He's just, he's minded like that. Okay? It's a really, really important coding skill. Like really important. If you're good at JavaScript, CSS and HTML, you'll be successful as a front-end developer. Okay? One of the challenges associated with front-end development is it's constantly changing. Constantly changing. So, new ways to do things keep coming up, right? And changing and evolving. So, for instance, I would say 6-7 years ago, we taught responsive design using frameworks. Do you know what I mean by framework? Like Bootstrap or Foundation. You ever heard of your coding teachers talk to you about that? No? Okay, maybe not. Basically, it is a template of a website that's responsive, and then you just interact and change the code that's already written. That's how we built many responsive websites. They were done already, we just customized them, okay? And then that changed, we don't use it as much anymore. Granted, it is out there, but not necessarily used as much as you guys are using CSS Grid. Is it for responsiveness? Okay, that's that. And have you heard of Flexbox? Yeah, did they teach you Flexbox as well? Okay, so those are kind of competing, right? They kind of do the same thing, kinda. One may win over the other, and then you'll get rid of it. You'll get rid of one. Okay, when I went to school, I was taught Lingo, which is a totally different language. And we used Lingo, I'm dating myself, but remember when computers actually had like CD drives? Okay? And you used to get a CD to load your software, that kind of thing, or you could put a game on it or something like that. You load it in and then it appears. The code to get that software or game or interactive application to work was written in Lingo. It doesn't exist anymore. It lost out to Flash and ActionScript, and then now that's gone. Right, so it changes and changes. And front-end developers are constantly learning stuff, constantly learning. Okay. If you like code, this is a fantastic area of employment. Okay. Do we like code? Come on. There's nothing wrong with liking code. It's okay. Okay? So that's an area that you can go into when you leave. Okay? And then there's back-end development, which I believe you are not doing this semester. Okay? Back-end development is, again, I believe Rob talked to you about this when it came to databases. So all your modern sites, like say Instagram, or applications like Instagram, you create a user profile, right? So the front-end developer makes all the pretty stuff up front and lines everything and so forth and so on. The back-end developer does all the functioning. So you sign up for Instagram, it takes your name and username and whatever, right? All those fields you have to fill out. You hit submit, it creates an account, correct? Well, that information goes to the back end into a database that's on a server. That's the back end person's job, is to make sure the functioning of the site behind the scenes works. Okay? You know, dealing with server-side languages like PHP and Ruby and Python, Java to build applications, and tools like MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, so forth. So it's a totally different ballgame. Okay? You're not dealing, well, I'd say, I'm generalizing. Back-end development isn't the sexy part of our industry. Okay? It's not like the beautiful front end looks amazing and, you know, you're so enticed to be on this website. It's kind of it's, you know, the mechanics inside the server kind of thing that back-end development is. Some students love it. They love this side of things. Okay? I would say, who likes math? Nobody likes math. Jeez. Okay, so there's obviously no code people. If you like math, figuring stuff out, I feel like you're probably more orientated to coding. Okay? Though you still gotta obviously figure stuff out if you're a designer. But I think of like front-end development and back-end, I'm sure as well, is this roller coaster ride of emotion. Have you noticed that? You start the project and you're like, yeah, all right, I'm into this, and then you hit your first roadblock, and then the roller coaster goes down. And you're down there for a while. And what are you doing? You're troubleshooting, right? And you're troubleshooting. And then you figure it out, and then the roller coaster goes back up, right? It's just a wave of emotion. I find, for me personally, when it came to coding, and I've only done front-end coding, okay? Not back-end. But if you like manipulating data and working with, like, think of it, I always say this, who likes using Microsoft Excel? Okay? That, you know, in its simplest form is really how a database works. The information comes from the website and it goes into different cells and rows, and you organize it that way. You do all the connecting, obviously. There's the code that connects it all, right? That's kind of you, okay? It's coming. Next semester, I believe, you will be able to do back-end development, okay? And eventually, you will be able to do a CMS, Content Management System, okay? Have you touched WordPress yet in your coding classes? Okay, if you've touched WordPress, that is a CMS, Content Management System. So you log in, you get a dashboard. It allows you to create a page, add content, add pictures, so forth and so on. And then you hit submit, and it goes to the web. So that's a content management system. Back-end people build those. They make them from code, okay? It's an area, okay? It'll be introduced soon. So we're gonna play a video on the difference between front end and back end. It's by a YouTuber, her name, she calls herself the Coding Blonde, okay? That's her tag, I guess. She's actually changed it from Coding Blonde to something else. She's gone into career research for people out there, okay? And she used to work for Google. She knows her stuff. She's super brilliant, super smart lady. So I have a few videos of her explaining what it is.
Hi, I'm Masha, I'm the Coding Blonde, and welcome to my Blonde Dictionary, where I try to explain computer use a terminology using blonde examples. One of my friends actually asked me, what is the difference between front-end and back-end? What do front-end developers do and what do back-end developers do? And
All right, before we get too far, what was going on in that video that we know about? What kind of cuts were those? Did you notice? Did you notice, like, she was talking and then she jumped and jerked and then she jumped and jerked? The jump cuts, right? Okay. Professional videos, testimonials, we don't do those, right? We keep those for YouTube. Okay? It looks weird in the professional term. Anyway, sorry. Back to front end.
now we're to solve that mystery. So front-end is what you see and what you interact with on the website or in the program. That's basically the design and how it interacts with you. And that's what front-end developers do. They use languages such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery to make interactive web pages or web applications. Imagine you were a program. What would a front-end developer do? Yes, change your appearance. So do your makeup, choose your outfit, and select your jewelry. I think I might stay in this because I'm Russian and I like my European pieces. So to sum up, front-end developers deal with the outside of an application of a website, something that users see. Well, back-end is basically everything that happens behind the scenes, from the general maintenance of the app itself, storing information, checking if there are any bugs, I'd like to book a doctor's appointment, please, as well as improving the program. So in our example, dealing with your body and mind, the backend usually consists of 3 parts: a server, an application, and a database. So let's take a web application as an example. For example, Instagram. This is what you see, the design which was developed by front-end developers, and you can interact with these images by liking, commenting, as well as going on user profiles, subscribing, etc., etc., etc. But where your browser retrieves the information, so the server, as well as the code behind the program itself, and the database where all of this information is stored. So all of your user information, all the photos, all the likes, all the comments, that's what backend developers deal with. They deal with things that go behind the scenes of the front end. I've seen a very funny picture about this and I wanted to share it with you. As you can see, the back end, what goes behind the scenes, may not be as fancy as what user sees. I hope that you now understand the concept much better. Subscribe for more videos like this. And also, if there's something that you'd like me to explain, please comment down there. Bye.
Okay, does that make sense? Now? Okay, front end, back end, very different. Very pretty front end, very less pretty back end. Okay? Coding then. Those are 2 areas from IDP that you can dive into. Okay? Pick one or the other. Or there's this option to be a full stack developer. So you do both. So you take, like I say there, you take the front end person, the back end person, you squish them together and they know both. Okay? In the coding world. So you know all the front end languages, but you know all the back end languages as well. Now, I know from experience, some places like would consider a full stack developer front end development, back end development, can also design and can sometimes do video. Okay? Because where I work, we hired one. Came out of this program. Okay? Came out of IDP, took IMS. So IMS is the 1-year specialist program when it comes to coding. Okay? Interactive Media Specialist. So they're called IMS. He took that course, and from his knowledge here and the knowledge in IMS, he would be considered a full stack developer. Okay? And in actual fact, because he knew how to design print, design interactive or digital, so web. He also knew how to do video and edit video and do motion graphics. He's what they call a unicorn. Okay, can do anything. It's a rarity. Okay, I say Justin. Have you guys had Justin? Brunner? No, Brunner? Okay. He's one of the professors in our program. He used to be the coordinator. Okay. He actually coordinates the second years of our program. He's a unicorn. He can do all of it. Okay. But it's a rarity. Okay. To get someone that can do all that stuff. But in its base form, a full stack developer is a front-end developer and a back-end developer mashed together. Okay? If you like code, you can take it on. I'm not saying from IDP, right out of IDP and out into the world that you can be a full stack developer. I don't believe you probably can. You can ask your code teachers that question because it really relies on coding side of things, right? I believe when we had IMS running, those students coming out of IMS after they took our course could be full stack developers, and that's what we trained them to be. Okay. But it doesn't mean if you eat up code and you love it, you can do some LinkedIn learning, yes, right? You can do that stuff on your own through the summer. Right? Are are you so excited for the summer that you're gonna forget about all the code stuff? Are you gonna put it away and go, I'll worry about it in September? Yeah. Okay. Don't do that. Okay? If code is a struggle, it's not, just pick away at it a little bit in the summer. Take an hour here or there or whatever. As well, after this, think about what you want to possibly be. Okay? Think about what path. Do you want to go down the coding path? Do you want to go down design? Do you want to be motion design or video? Think about it. Do some inner thinking over the summer. Okay? You will get a chance when you come back. After you've decided over the summer, you know what? I think front-end development's for me. Maybe you say that through the summer. You do some LinkedIn learning stuff. You come back. Your first project, like I said, is going to be a project 4 of you in it. One of the positions is a front-end developer. The other one's like graphic designer. The other one is a motion person, and then the other one is the project manager. Okay? And then choose those group projects where you could focus on being a front-end developer and see if you love it. Okay? See if you love it. Those projects will allow you to focus on that discipline. And I've had many students go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to stay, this is my path. Or no, I think I would rather do design. Okay? Try and think about these things, especially when you come back, because when you come back at 3rd, 4th semester, it's go time, and then it's graduation time. It's going to go like that. Truthfully, it is. Okay? So do some pre-planning is my suggestion. Okay? So a full stack developer, if we break it down, have the coding blonde break it down for us.
Have you ever been confused by the term full stack developer? What is this mysterious stack and how does one develop it? Hi, my name is Masha, I'm the Coding Blonde, and welcome to my Blonde Dictionary, where I explain the computer terminology using, as I call them, blonde examples. Today, I want to talk about the stack using Pancake to make sure you understand what it means as well as what a full stack developer does. To be honest, I was very confused by the concept myself before I took an evening class for General Assembly, which was amazing. To put it simply, a stack comprises of all the layers one needs to think about when creating a piece of software. That wasn't that simple, was it? So let's think of building an application. First, it needs to live somewhere, right? So in the case of a web application, it would be a web server. So a full stack developer would need to be able to set that up. That's our first layer. The second layer is frameworks and libraries. So for example, jQuery for JavaScript, or Rails is a framework for Ruby. Don't worry about that too much. I will do a separate video on libraries, on frameworks, so don't worry about that now. Just subscribe to my channel not to miss those videos. Another layer is programming languages, both back-end and front-end. And you can watch my video about back-end versus front-end after you finish this one. So the stack is a unique combination of whichever software tools, programming languages that you use to create your software. It's that simple. It's just a stack of those things. Bring on the pancakes. In the example of a web application, here are some of the potential stack layers, or pancakes in our case.
For example, at the server level, you can have Apache or Nginx pancakes. At the database level, you can have Oracle, Mongo, MySQL, or Postgres pancakes. And then at the back end, some of the pancakes that you can use are PHP, Java, Python, or Ruby. And in the front end, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Normally, those three are used all together because
It's a lot of pancakes, right? It's a lot of stacking. Yeah? So now visually, does it connect? You know, because really, you know, that's front end, and all this is back end. Okay? But you know all of it. So you're basically, you know, the designer, in this case, let's say, gives you the design. You code the front end with HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and then you jump into the back end, into the server. Does it need a database? You connect the database to the front end. And then you can use back end PHP or JavaScript, Python to create some of the applications in the back end. It's pretty technical, right? It's a lot to it. Do they make a lot of money? What do you think? Damn straight they make lots of money. That's a lot of stuff you gotta know. They do really okay. Okay? Can't tell you how much money they make, it's all different. But the more you know, the better.
they complement each other's functions.
So let's say that out of those potential components, you're using Apache as a web server, the first pancake, MySQL at the database level, second pancake, PHP as the backend language pancake, and then you're using all three, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as the front-end language pancake. This unique combination is your stack. Congratulations. Yes, it's that simple. However, developing this all is not as simple because a full stack developer needs to be able to set up everything, starting from the bottom pancake, which is the server level, all the way up to web design. This requires a lot of skill and a lot of practice. And the fact that new languages and systems come out all the time does not help. However, if you're motivated and you're ready for this amazing journey, you can do anything. And if you're new to coding and you're thinking of where to start, you can watch my video on the right course for you right here. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that now you understand the concept of the stack, which is basically a unique combination of these layers that create a working program, or a delicious breakfast in my case. This video is dedicated to...
Okay. Make sense? All right. Let's do break. Let's do like 10 minutes, and then we'll get into our other silos, and we'll talk about those and those possible areas of study, or I shouldn't say study, employment.